Hello my lovely aquas, I'm Bang Baby and welcome to my channel. So today we're basically going to be looking into what you can expect for the rest of December 2021. Keep in mind that my messages are for those who need it the most. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't, okay? So I'm going to be using 3 different decks. The first one I'm going to be using is Rebel deck, and this is going to be like the Oracle card that I'm going to be starting off with. And then I also have Tattoo Tarot. And this is going to be like detail and more like confirmation and stuff. And then this is going to be the advice, angels and ancestors. Okay, so these are the 3 decks I'm going to be using for your reading today. Okay. How are you guys? I hope you guys are good. I hope everything is going well for you. Happy thoughts, positivity, good vibes. So definitely we're going to be checking out what you got coming up for December, okay? For the rest of December. All right. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides of love and light. I ask that you please give me insight. Please give me a message for Aquarius, December 2021. One card for Aquarius. What can they expect for the rest of December? What can they expect for the rest of December? One card, please. Ooh, thank you. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you guys saw how like that card flew out. Okay, so that was a pretty strong message. So your message is you're the shit. And don't forget it. Okay? So that's basically the message for the month of December 2021 for you. So let's see what all that is about. Oof. Okay. So for Aquarius, I usually see them as confident people, very self-assured, like they're strong in who they are and they're confident, you know? But maybe you're going through situations right now and you're around people who make you forget that, you know? Especially like a really kind-hearted and good-hearted Aquarius, like they're very logical, they're very, ooh, I keep getting a lot of messages for you. So they're like very practical, very logical. They like to think things through. They're very like heavily oriented in their head and their thoughts. They tend to communicate very like, they tend to express themselves. You know, they don't really hold their tongue. You know, you can hold a conversation with them. They like to talk, which is good, you know. Maybe you're around people who don't like that. Maybe because Aquarius like to do research and know the deeper meanings of things and understand things. So I feel like maybe you're around, this is for a certain number of you guys, okay? It's not for everyone. Remember that. Keep in mind that these messages are for the Aquariuses that need it most, okay? So it's not going to resonate for everyone, and like take what bits and pieces you can from it. But for some of you Aquariuses, I see that you're around people who whenever you do research or whenever you try looking into things, like they get annoyed, you know? And then there's people that when you like to talk about stuff, because especially Aquarius, like they like deep conversation. They don't like superficial bullshit for the most part. So I feel like for you guys, if you're around people who only entertains superficial conversation or like, you know, basic questions like how's the weather today, you know, you don't find that entertaining either. You find that boring, but I feel like they look at you and they put you down for you wanting to talk about deep stuff like, oh my god, here we go again, or do you really gotta be like this, you know? And I know that sucks because I feel I keep getting friend vibes. So maybe this is for some of you guys, this is your friend groups. Okay, so like you're in a friend group or you feel like you don't fit in. Maybe you outgrew this group. Maybe you've known them for a long time. That's okay. All right. Maybe for family, especially holiday seasons that came up recently, like Thanksgiving. Maybe you realize that being around family is not as easy as you thought it was, you know? And like it's kind of like when you go with family, you have to put the best impression of yourself and you have to put like a fake version of yourself out there. And maybe you're around like a judgmental group. But then some of you guys, this is a partner who, especially for ladies, okay, this goes for both men and women. But for some of you guys are in a relationship with someone who even though you're fucking beautiful, because that's the image that I got in my head, whoever I'm speaking to for, or this message is for, you're very attractive, okay? And then not only that, but you like deep knowledge, you like intense conversation. You know, nothing too crazy, but I feel like you're the type of person to look under the stars and talk about life, talk about your dreams, talk about real shit. Yeah, and I feel like you are around someone who's just putting you down for that, okay? For this significant other, they are aware that you are attractive and you are beautiful. Again, men and women. But for some reason, they like to put you down. Maybe it's because they don't want you to realize your own potential. Maybe it's because they don't want you to realize how beautiful and great you are. Maybe they don't want you to pay attention to other people who have eyes on you because they want you for themselves. But the way they're going about it is really toxic. All right? So I would keep that in mind. So definitely remember you are the shit and don't forget it. But at the same time, find balance. Don't become an asshole and don't let that get too much into your head, okay? I'm just being real about it. It's good to have confidence. It's not good to be cocky. But yes, you are the shit and remember that. And for another group of you guys, this is for some aquas who have low self-esteem. Okay, so maybe you're also just finding yourself, finding your own style. Because for some reason, I got an image of a person standing in front of a mirror at the mall, at a certain clothes store. So maybe you're trying to figure out your own style. Maybe you're trying to find that, find the confidence to express yourself the way you want to be freely expressed, whether it's how you talk, how you wear your hair, how you dress, what type of shoes, you know. Some of you guys like really bright colors, okay? Because I saw pastel colors or light colors. But definitely this is a reminder. You are the shit, okay? And you can't, like, don't forget that. Don't let people make you feel down about it. For some of you guys too, especially the ones who are going through a toxic relationship or even have a low self-esteem within themselves. The thing is, you might be finding external value or validation from these people, okay? And you're looking at, that's where the phrase looking for love in all the wrong places, that's where it is, okay? And I almost said right because it seems like doing wrong feels so right, or maybe that's just the kind of like twisted up perspective that you grew up with, and that's not a bad thing, okay? Our fucking society is all backwards and shit, so there's no surprise there, all right? But that's what I was getting. So let's see, okay, what's going on with this. I kept shuffling my cards because I like to clear the energy and give a new slate, but then to also give a good shuffle, so you know, get the clear messages. All right. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides of love and light, I ask that you please give me insight. Ooh. What messages do Aquarius need to hear at this time? What is this message? What is this message for Aquarius for? Okay. Two more cards, please. Ooh, okay. Another thing that I got for you guys, just reading off, like just looking at it and putting it together. I need you guys to understand that shit happens in life, okay? And that's the thing. We live in a society. We live in a society where being judgmental is normal, okay? And I think I saw a meme that says something like that whole being married and having kids by 25 is looking hella 40-ish right now, okay? I feel like for some of you Aquas, some of you guys left a long-term relationship, okay? Definitely some of you guys left your family home because it was a toxic environment. I heard generational curse breaker. I heard dysfunctional family, a lot of pain. I heard scapegoat too. So that's some of you guys. Okay, that's a whole lot of other things. And then for others of you, You guys lived with the significant other for a long time. I do see like a few years invested. Maybe you guys were married. Maybe you guys had kids together. But that was definitely a big part of your life. And, you know, again, we live in a world where, especially in the past, being a woman, like, unless you, and sometimes, you know, I'm not gonna lie, some of us can catch our grandmas, our aunts, and our moms even saying shit like, well, at least I got a man and this, but their relationship, not being judgmental, but the relationship is not healthy either. You know, just because you have a man by your side and under, like, you know, with the title doesn't mean anything. Are you happy? And I feel like that's what this is. Okay. But for some reason, like, you made the right decision to walk away and let this person go, or however this situation ended. But for some reason, I feel like you're hard on yourself, you know? And it definitely, if you were married and you did the whole 9 yards with this person, only to find out that, you know, this person did you wrong or it didn't work out, it makes you feel like shit, because it makes you feel like, damn, like everything I did, it wasn't worth anything. And the thing is, it was. Okay, you had to learn that lesson. You were a lesson for that person. Things happen for a reason, as cheesy as that line is. Okay? But I don't think you should be hard on yourself. So I feel like, especially for those who just got out of who lost a lot, okay, who lost people, who lost friends, you need to remember you are the shit, okay? And you can't forget that. And don't go looking for external validation from other people. I think that's also partly why your past relationship didn't work, why your family dynamic didn't work. Not even just because of family, like looking for external validation, but it's because these people they don't have the emotional maturity to understand you. Okay, these are people who, like, it's not that you're better than them. It just means that they don't know any better. And that's not an excuse either for their disrespect or harmful behavior. But that's why, what's that phrase? We teach people how to respect us. That's why that's important. If you come to a person and you try having a conversation with them and they label you as argumentative or confrontational, distance yourself. Okay? If you find you're trying to express yourself and people are cutting you off, distance yourself. Because you can tell they're not they're not willing to listen. They're not open to listening to you, and that's not fair. Okay, can I get 2 more cards for Aquarius, please? Angels, ancestors, spirit guides of love and light. I ask that you please give me insight. Please give me 2 more cards for Aquarius. What is it that they need to know most at this time? So I think your advice is mainly more about picking yourself up. Okay, just because you fell doesn't mean you can't get back up. Just because you fail doesn't mean that you still can't succeed either. Okay? Just because you experience a whole lot of pain in the past doesn't mean that there's not love and happiness for you to experience. Just as there's darkness and just as there's rain, there's sunlight, and there's light and there's sunlight. Okay, to make all that shit go away. It's all balance. Okay, can I get 2 more cards for Aquarius, please? Angels, ancestors. Okay, I know I'm shuffling for a minute. I like jumpers, okay? I do like jumpers, so because that means that the message is important. That's the most important message. I don't like picking my cards. All right, that's a book. I don't need a book. Aquarius don't need a book. 1 more card for Aquarius. 1 more card for Aquarius, please. 1 more card for Aquarius. 1 more card for Aquarius. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, of love and light. Okay, thank you. Ooh. Aquarius, bro, what is going on here? Okay, so zodiac signs that made a big appearance in your reading are Libra and Capricorn. Capricorn came out literally twice back to back. These are both Capricorn cards off the top of the deck, okay? So I have Libra and I have Capricorn. Let me get 1 more. Scorpio, okay? So you might be dealing with a Libra, Capricorn, or Scorpio. You might have Libra, Scorpio, or Capricorn in your chart somewhere. Remember, we are more than our sun, moon, and rising signs. Our natal charts, our birth charts are basically like a map to our soul and what our spiritual journey is in this lifetime. Okay, so it's just basically a roadmap as to understanding who you are. Okay, so again, you also might be dealing with a Scorpio, Capricorn, or Libra, or you might be dealing with someone who has that in their chart. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be part of it, but these are just energies that are influencing the reading at this time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Aquarius, your overall energy is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. And I do want to say there's also the Devil card right behind it, but it's also in reverse. All right. So I do feel like you let go of a toxic situation in your past, something that made you feel like you were bound, you were stuck, you were unable to move, you weren't freely able to be yourself. Especially if this is a toxic romantic connection, it was mainly sex based, but there was no emotions invested into it, and that's the part that hurt you because you actually love this person. All right. But for the most part, some of you guys came from a really controlling family. Some of you guys, though, I don't like using the word narcissist, because it's being thrown around a lot, but, dysfunctional families. Okay, some of you guys did come from strict and controlling families, all right, where you weren't able to be freely yourself. But you let that go, okay, because you realize, like, it's not that you're being selfish or you're hurting people, but you also need to make yourself happy. The main person that you need to focus on in your life is you. Okay? Are you okay? Did you eat today? Did you take care of yourself today? Stuff like that. It's very important. You have to take care of yourself. Okay? You have to consider yourself. Are you happy? Are you around things that make you feel light? Are you around things that make you smile and laugh? No? Okay, then move away from that shit, right? So I feel like for some of you guys, for those who were in controlling family dynamics, it's kind of like you were suffocated and you wanted to breathe. So you just let that shit go. Okay. And it was a big thing for you to let that go too. Like whoever this was, whoever these individuals are. And for some of you guys, it's all of them. For some of you guys, it is family, it is romantic connections, and it is friends or ex-friends, toxic friends. You guys could have been dealing with this toxicity and this pain by yourself. But the thing is that pain was actually a representation of your growth because you grew a lot. Even though this was uncomfortable, even though some of you guys may have felt lonely and heartbroken and disappointed and let down, this was a big factor for you as a person, a learning lesson, a big imprint on who you are today. Okay. And you made the choices to how to carry that out. All right. Everyone is a little bit different. But for those of you guys who let go of that toxic relationship or like family dynamic or walked away from this stuff, I kind of feel like even though it was a big step for you to do that, you're kind of in the middle. All right. So this is your family or your relationship dynamic that did not work out. It didn't go so good. You're here, and then here's moving forward. Okay. So you let this go, but you're not quite yet ready to move here. So it's kind of like you're still stuck in fear. I heard fear of being alone. And I don't think that's a big issue. For some reason, is his name Robin Williams? I hope it is. I think it is. But he was one of the people who said, make sure you surround yourself with people who, the people you need to watch out for is people who make you feel alone when you're around them. Those who make you feel fulfilled or happy, that's a good thing. Okay. But I kind of feel like this is you feeling like fear of being alone. And I understand that, but don't settle for bullshit either. There's another phrase that's coming to my mind right now. It says too, like, would you drink poison just because you're thirsty? No, you go and look for water, right? You don't settle for bullshit. That's what this is here. Don't allow the labels of ex or romantic or even boo thing, right? Or friends. I've known these friends since I was in high school, since elementary, or even like family, right? Especially family. Just because you guys share blood does not mean you guys are family. That means you guys are relatives, not family. Family is mainly how people treat you, how they make you feel. Are you safe? Are you comfortable? Can you be yourself? Can you speak freely? Can you express inner traumas? Can you talk about your dreams without people shutting you down, right? But I feel like this is a learning lesson for you because you pay attention to how she's reading a book here. So I feel like, yeah, I mean, right now, maybe you might feel stuck. Maybe you might feel confused as to how exactly you're going to be moving forward. But I feel like this is a pause moment. I feel like this is a moment of reflection for you. And you're not going to stay there forever. It just feels like right now you're stuck. And you're granted in feeling that. But just don't stay there too long, okay? Especially you losing out on what you did. You're granted in feeling how you feel. But again, don't stay there too long, okay? Your past, I do see Ton of Cups. I feel like family is very important to the aquas that I'm talking to. So especially if you have kids, but especially your mom, your parents, your family, your grandparents, and even your romantic partner, especially those who are married and went through a divorce and all that shit. Like, I feel like these individuals were very important in your life. And I do feel like for the aquas that I'm talking to, you guys were looking for external validation. Okay? Seeing these people happy made you happy. And that, like, I also feel like I'm talking to a parent because that sounds like how a parent talks about their kid, you know, putting their kid first before themselves. And that's understandable. But at the same time, you need to make sure that you make yourself happy. Okay? You're emotionally fulfilled on your own. No kid, no family member, and no romantic connection is going to fix that. Okay? So it's like your emotional fulfillment, it's all on its own. It's a delicious ass cake all on its own, right? Then whatever else that's added onto it, the sprinkles, the frosting, the cherry on top, right? Those are everybody else. That's your family, friends, career, kids, right? They add onto it, but you're supposed to be solid all on your own, right? What is it like? Would you eat a plate of just frosting and sprinkles and cherries? No. I mean, maybe some of you guys would. I don't know, but that's not normal. You get what I'm saying, all right? But I feel like that's what it was. Like, for the most part, because it looked good on the outside and it was almost picture perfect, you were happy with that, you know? But I kind of feel like whatever happened, you knew that something was missing. You knew that there was something more. You knew that there was something better. Not even better in other situations, but you knew that better could have been given in the situation. Okay? Whether you were with family, friends, or romantic connection, you knew that the other person could try harder. Okay? And again, like, what I also heard too is that, like, some of you guys feel like you weren't perfect when you weren't perfect and you didn't like the version of yourself when you were in these situations, you know? And the thing is, you didn't know better at that time, okay? And it was a learning lesson, and that's okay, all right? Take your mistakes, acknowledge them, and process them, but don't stay there either. Don't get fixated on them because you're no longer that person. You grew from that, okay? I do see that you speaking up for yourself and you realizing your worth, and you, like, especially when you felt that feeling of something's not right here or something feels like empty or something's missing, when you spoke up, it caused conflict, okay? And you waking up and realizing things, there's another, for some reason, Aquarius, when I'm doing a reading, I have so many different sayings in my head, like those old time phrases or whatever. I was doing other readings, I didn't get that many, okay? I'm just saying. But definitely I do see that when you spoke up for yourself and you spoke out your truth, it caused conflict. People thought you were confrontational. People thought you were argumentative, but you were just sticking up for yourself and doing what was right. Okay? I do feel like this caused inner conflict as well too. Like, it was I feel like some of you guys had people who gaslit you and who told you that you're trying to start a fight, you're trying to start arguments, because again, Five of Wands is disagreements, conflicts, chaos even, and you see how all these like wands are hitting each other. Competition even. Ooh, what? Okay, that's a whole different timeline. For some of you guys had family members and friends and even significant others who felt like they were competition to you. Okay, these were people who didn't want you to be happy, and they saw that you were busting your ass, and they would try sabotaging you. They would try whispering doubts into your ear. Okay, so that's another thing that's really interesting. So I feel like you had to deal with competition. You had to deal with external conflict when you were trying to fix the problem and, like, fight for what was right for you. And then you started experiencing internal conflict too. And that's not on you, all right? It's just that these people were playing mind games with you, and that's not fair. Wow. Yeah, and I feel like whoever these people were, whenever you tried speaking up your truth, they were actually giving you the bare minimum, and you remember, like, damn, like, I'm not asking for too much. I'm just asking for this and this. It's like the smallest thing. You don't even have to spend money. All you have to do is spend time with me, talk to me, have a conversation, listen to me. When I'm talking to you, don't pick up your phone and stare at it, right? So even when you were asking these people for the bare minimum, they made you feel like you were starting fights for no reason, and that's not all the case. All right, because family means everything to you. But whenever you started to experience constant conflict, you knew that something wasn't right. You knew that something was missing. So then you started feeling like this wasn't your spot anymore. Yeah, because you started outgrowing the situation. Oh, the other phrase that I was going to say was ignorance is bliss, right? So ignorance is not that you're dumb and it's not that you're rude. It's just that you didn't know, but you didn't know better. Ignorance and, like, being oblivious, right? So I feel like for those who don't know better, on the picture perfect level, everything seems fine. But then when you start becoming aware and you start seeing the truth for what it is, that's when it's heavy. And that's probably what caused you the inner conflict. Becoming aware of the fact that this picture perfect family was just that, a picture perfect picture, not a real thing. Oh shit, okay. Damn. So maybe you're around people who, like, really, like, was more for their appearances than for their actual, like, connection, okay? So again, for those of you guys who had spouses, maybe they were controlling on how you looked. Maybe you couldn't cut your hair or dye your hair a certain way or wear certain clothes, okay? Same thing for men, right? Maybe she didn't like the way you dressed or whatever. She didn't like the cologne you put on. But she would just beat you down instead of, like, here, baby, try this, right? Or here, I got you this, try this one. Or do you like this one? How do you feel about this one, right? So I feel like that's a thing. I feel like for those who are in controlling family dynamics, you weren't able to freely be yourself. Like, let's say in high school, you listened to certain bands and your parents thought they were too much. And again, like, there is a line that parents need to keep an eye out for. But then on the other hand, some parents just, like, what is it? The best example I can give is My Chemical Romance. Like, when you look at them, like, I'm pretty sure parents are like, what the fuck? But at the same time, if that's what your kid listens to, if it's like unorthodox and not normal, let them be themselves. Let them freely be themselves without you putting them down, For some of you guys, I did see, like, a TikTok or, like, a short video where there was, like, 3 girls and 2 of them were doing a dance for Mean Girls, and they wrapped themselves in, like, presents, and they told the third girl stay on the bed and record or, like, just stay on the bed because she was too ugly to fit in, like that. Those are not real people. Those are not, like, real friends for you. So, bless you, mama. That's my dog, sorry. So, the last card that I have for you, Aquarius, is the Justice card in reverse. Okay, so the Justice card, I feel like you're hitting your limit here, okay? And again, you being a nice person, you have your limits. Even when you're trying, people be pushing you, okay? And that just goes for everybody, not just for Aquarius specifically. But I feel like in your future, you're waking up to realizing that whatever it is that's in the situation is not right. Something's missing. There was injustice too, okay? So this is probably a dynamic, like, okay, these are friends that probably fucked you over, all right? I'm just probably letting you know. And you let them slide, but you realize they're not going to change. It's not going to be equal give and take. Same thing with family. You probably have family members who take advantage of you for your niceness. Okay, there was some things that were fucked up, things that probably went down. Nobody wants to acknowledge it or admit it, and they want to sweep it under the rug, but then at your expense, right? And then there's other of you who your significant other has definitely done you wrong, and you're pouring more into the situation, and it's uneven. okay? And they really broke your heart and disappointed you and backstabbed you multiple times, and you've been nice, forgiving, and understanding and compassionate, but to your own expense, all right? So that's what this is here. So I feel like you're waking up and you're becoming aware, because look at the justice card. Keep everything balanced, and you see how she has a blindfold? The blindfold is fucking coming off, and you're seeing the truth for what it is. So I hope they're ready. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? All right, let me give you some advice card, okay? I keep saying okay and Aquarius almost together for some reason. But thank you so much for joining me on my video. I hope you enjoyed the message. I hope it resonated or helped or gave you some sort of clarity. If it did, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any ideas for nicknames for Aquarius, or even for what type of readings you would be interested in, please comment that below as well. I also do want to say I offer personal readings as well. I offer $25 general readings, $45 in-depth readings, and $50 cord cuttings. If you guys are interested at all, my email and description and everything, my email and details will be in the description box below, okay? Please check that out. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, of love and light, I ask that you please give me insight. Please give me 3 advice cards for Aquarius, December 2021. What is it that they need to know most at this time? That reading was intense, Aquarius. Like, I even got heated. Like, there was a few times where I was like, at your expense. Really? No. And I think that's why it's a reminder, you're the shit. Nothing should be at your expense. Other people shouldn't put you at, dispose you like that. You know what I mean? And you can't allow that to happen. But I feel like some of you guys are learning how to stick up for yourself and have a backbone. I know that phrase sounds a little rough, but it's because you guys are, like, for those that I'm speaking to, I see that you guys are very gentle, okay? And you guys are also very wise, and you guys see things from a bigger perspective. So I feel like when people mistreat you, you understand it because you take yourself out of your own shoes and you look at it from a bigger angle. But at the same time, without you realizing it, it's good and nice that you're wise like that and you can understand people for why they do what they do. But at the same time, that's also enabling the disrespectful behavior towards you. Okay, and that's not, you don't deserve that. Some of you guys may feel like you guys are getting old, okay? And definitely, it's never too late to do anything. Age is nothing but a number, okay? There's people who are like 80 years old and they have the spirit of a kid, and not in a bad way. All right, not childish, not naive, but you can tell like they have that creativity, they have that life, they have that spark to them. Don't let society's expectations get you down. Everything happens at its own pace. Do with what your life you can, you know, at your own pace. It's okay. Can I get 2 more cards for Aquarius, December 2021? Angels, ooh, okay. And just as I was speaking about seeing things from a bigger perspective too. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides. That's interesting. Some of you guys, okay, for those of you guys who let go of toxic family dynamics or just relationships, I feel like you have changed so much that when you look at the past version of you, it almost seems like a lifetime ago. Okay, and especially with those of you guys who went through a divorce and went through a divorce and lost out on a relationship and everything. I feel like some of you guys also look at that version of yourself like, damn, that was a long time ago, you know. So, and if, for some of you guys, you're not there yet, but you will be. Okay, right now you're grieving the loss of that life and you're in between, so it makes sense as to why you were in between. It's like one life here and your past life that did not work out, and then your new life, and then this is you. And what I call these are experiences, but because they were so vast and everything, and they had like a big impact on you, it almost seems like completely two different lives, but it's the same one, right? Just different experiences. Can I get one more card, please, for Aquarius, December 2021? Aquarius, December 2021. One more card, please. What do they need to hear? Thank you. Okay. All right, so for those of you guys who have particular goals, and I'll get into the reading a little bit more right now, but I'm just looking at it from surface level, like real quick, like, okay. So for some of you guys, especially if you guys have been working really hard this year and you have a particular goal in mind, I will say the springtime would be ideal, okay? So I feel like for some of you guys, there's going to be something that happens for you in the springtime, and it's going to be blessings, okay? It's going to be a good thing. Whenever anything happens and you get a warning about anything, not everything is a bad thing, guys. You know what I mean? There's good and bad in this world. There's good and bad in us. That's what our existence in this world is, okay? But I do feel like something is going to be happening for you in springtime, especially if you've been like busting your ass and working really hard and making a lot of sacrifices, okay? So it's either something is going to happen because you make it happen, and it's like a reward for your hard work or a payoff for your hard work, or just something is going to happen in springtime that's going to change your life, okay? Something you might not even be expecting. Oh, shit. Okay, now it goes on. All right, this is why I said some of you guys think you're old, okay? And then this is why I also said, you know, your past life, whether it was your family or parents or whatever, and you left it behind, it almost feels like a lifetime ago, that was a different version of you. And it was, okay? But it was something that you learned, okay? So for elder, the advice here is move beyond ancestral patterns. Interesting, okay? That makes sense. Do you remember when I said generational curse breakers? Bam, here you go. And I feel like generational curse breakers, that has to do with toxic behaviors within the self and toxic behaviors within the overall family. And I think it's ironic how it's literally looking, he's literally looking at the house. He's looking at his family dynamic, you know, where he came from. Some of you guys don't even realize too that your spirit guides or some of your angels, they're actually ancestors of yours, okay? Those who, especially for those who are generational curse breakers, these individuals, these spirits, your ancestors have been waiting for you, and your bloodline has been waiting for you, okay? That's the best way I can say it. And I know that's a lot of responsibility, but that's also why things were 3 times harder for you. But that's also why you will be blessed 3 times as well, too. Okay, so remember that. I hope you do. But especially don't run away from your emotions. Feel that shit, process it, acknowledge it, let it go. Okay, however you need to. Okay, the more you run away from it, the more you run away from these spiritual lessons, the more you're going to repeat them, and the more you're going to set your own bloodline, yourself back. Okay, and you know, your ancestors, they believe in you. That's why they chose you. Okay? So that's very important. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Do things differently. Okay? If you know your family has a particular dysfunctional dynamic around particular things, like alcohol, for instance, be the one who does different. Even if it's not easy. Okay, so I also have White Witch. Be the light. Literally, yes. Okay. Especially when it comes down to general curse breakers, like that's why you probably seem different. You are also an old soul, okay? You went through a lot of things, but that also explains why you can see things from a bigger perspective. You see things from a bird's eye view, okay? And that's why your soul is very compassionate and understanding, because you are an old soul. And that's probably why you feel old. Your body is probably young, but your spirit is probably super old, where you feel like you don't even understand what it's like to live among people. You know, it just feels weird. Like, it feels like you don't belong here. I hope that made sense. But with the White Witch, is just basically telling me, you be the light because you have it. Make sure that shines. And I think it's funny too, because it shines like, it's talking about you're the shit, right? Because you are the light. You shine bright. You're magnetic, okay? So you have a lot of good things. But the thing is, too, people are going to get mad that you are light. They're going to make you want to be dark. They're going to make you want to be angry, sad, whatever it is, right? That's the thing about light. And especially if you're somebody who didn't realize you carried so much light, just you talk, like sometimes people just being near you or talking to you, like you help them in a big way and you don't even realize it. But I feel like that's why people fight with you, because they know how powerful you are, but you didn't know. You weren't aware about that. All right? So especially I would say be cautious with those who try to trigger you or who try to push your buttons. Those are disrespectful, okay? So just watch out. For whatever injustice this is, whenever you wake up to it, dude, you see how fast that bunny bounced? Like, literally, you're going to be done with it. You don't want anything to do with it. Like, once you wake up and you see these people are set in their ways and comfortable and not creating any type of change or putting any effort, you're going to try looking for better. And when you do, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be abundant. It's going to be successful. That's what bunnies represent. Abundance, prosperous, success, fast moving as well, too. I feel like when you get over these individuals and when you give yourself space to heal and distance to start working on yourself, things are going to go really good for you, okay? You have a lot of blessings. That's probably why you went through a lot of bullshit, too, so remember that. All right, Aquas, that's what I got for you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it helped you. I hope it resonated with you in some sort of way. Thank you again so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the message, please make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. But until next time, okay? Peace.